Hello everybody. So have you ever purchased one of those items that you were really excited to get, just to when you got them, you found out they really weren't what you were hoping? Well, these are the Hatch Specialist Shooting Duty Gloves. And well, so on the Hatch website, they're actually called the Hatch NS430 Specialist All-Weather Shooting/Duty Gloves. Yes, that's a mouthful. And Hatch is known for making some really actually pretty good products. They're mostly known for their gloves and knee pads, their tactical knee pads. And their knee pads are really well built. They last a good long time. They're pretty comfortable. And I like Hatch products. Right up until I got these. So what can I say about the Hatch gloves? There has to be a good side, right? Because I'm really disappointed in these, and I don't like making bad reviews. If I buy something that I don't particularly care for, as long as it's not something that I feel is dangerous to people if they buy it, I usually won't make a video about it. I usually won't go out of my way to say something bad about a piece of kit, a pair of gloves, or something, again, unless it, I believe, is a danger to people if they purchase it. I believe these could be, depending on the person. I have extra large hands, but I believe that these could be a danger to people if they try to use them in the wrong situations. Now, for security duty, okay, the reason I bought these was because I wanted to find a pair of gloves that were a little heavier than the mechanics, the regular mechanics gloves. I wanted them in black because I do work security at events and things like that around Tucson and southern Arizona. So I wanted something a little heavier, something that was going to protect my hand a little bit better than the half-mil mechanics gloves that I like so much, but something that I was going to also be able to do trigger manipulations and firearm manipulations with easily, as well as use flex cuffs and things like that. And I thought, well, Hatch, I saw these. Hatch makes good products. They're pretty well known around the law enforcement community. They called these duty gloves, so I thought I'd give them a try. And they are going to complete none of what I thought they were going to, except for adding protection to my hands. Now let's talk about the construction. It's a fake leather palm, with all these extra bits on the fingertips and on the side here, sewn into it. That's a grippy material. It's I don't know what it's made of. It doesn't say on the Hatch website what it's made of, but it does have grip to it. I can't explain that to you enough. There's not a whole lot of weird pads on them, so if they do fit your hand well, and you are able to shoot with them, they're not going to make your grip on your pistol or rifle weird because of some weird padding in the palm or on the fingers. So that is a plus side. Speaking of fitment, my hands are sort of numb right now. What I mean by that is my fingers are. These, every time I do this, it cuts off circulation of my fingers. Not because they're fitted wrong, not because they're sized wrong, but because I just think how they're made. Now the backs of these are neoprene, very similar to what you think of a wetsuit, like a scuba diver's wetsuit. I did get my dive license several years ago. I am aware of what neoprene does and doesn't do, and these gloves don't seem to, there doesn't seem to be a benefit to the backsides of these being neoprene. My hands are already warm. It's like 67 degrees in my house. My hands are already warm. I can feel them starting to sweat. And I also took them back to Ohio with me last week to test them out there in cold weather. So let's check that out real quick. All right, guys, so I have them out here. I am in Findlay, Ohio, my hometown. And like I said, they were quite hot messing around with them in Tucson, even at 50, 60, 70 degrees. My hands would sweat real bad. Standing out here, it's 20 degrees right now, and I can feel the cold air through them. So they seem to be a little too hot for
mild weather, and they seem to not be really insulated all that well for cold weather. But we're gonna check it out right here. This is kind of icy snowdrift here. You'll see if see how they work in this kind of. Now this is that material that wetsuits are made of, so this should actually do pretty good in this wetter cold. That's not too bad. Like if the glove wasn't on, my hand would be freezing right now. I got it buried in there pretty good. I can feel it through there, but and it's starting to get actually quite cold now. And yeah, that its all weather capabilities don't seem to be great, because actually my hand is quite cold at this point. It's actually really cold. So yeah, I still haven't found a reason to suggest these gloves to anyone.
Now, they don't seem to be very impressive in cold weather either. The enclosure is a Velcro enclosure with no elasticity around the wrist. It's just a single Velcro enclosure. Again, my hands, they kind of seem to go numb inside them. My fingers do. They fit. They're not, my fingers aren't like pushing into the ends or anything like that, but much like some of the heavier duty gloves in the market, the fingers tend to be really square. It's got this real heavy stitch around what would be your trigger finger, making trigger manipulation kind of weird and hard. So, I got my Glock 19X here, and I want you to see this. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't, but right there, my finger is touching both the top and bottom of the trigger guard. I actually have to push it in. I actually have to push my finger into the trigger guard in order to, and it drags. Like, you probably can't see it, but it's actually dragging top and bottom hard to pull that trigger. And then for the reset, like, I have to pull my finger off of the trigger in order to get it to reset. I can't just relax my finger or just release the trigger like you can barehanded or with a thinner pair of gloves. So I would not call these, this is where the danger comes in. I would not call these either duty gloves or shooting gloves. I think they will protect the hand well enough. They are not really all weather, as they claim. Maybe for the right person, they could do a good job for something, but as far as a daily duty glove, something you're going to go shooting in, something to where I can't even feel. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold, if you can hear it in my voice. I can barely feel the gun in my hand, right? So it's this weird texture and the fake leather, along with my hand going numb. I just can't feel the gun. And the same goes for trying to pick a mag out of my mag pouch or anything like that. Now, in the AR, with the rounded trigger guard, it fits in there just fine, right? It fits in there just fine with the rounded trigger guard. But when I go to grab things, when I go to grab the light, grab the forend, grab the magazine, try and manipulate this paddle button, when I try to do all that, again, all the sensitivity is out of my hands, and it seems to slow me down quite a bit. Now, if you had a flat trigger guard in there, that may be a problem, especially if you have big hands like mine, getting your finger in there, just like with the Glock trigger guard. So the only thing I'm not upset about is the price. These are $20. That's pretty cheap for a pair of tactical gloves. So if you have $20 to spare and you want to try them out, by all means do so. I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to buy them. I'm telling you my opinion of them and where I think the not only just shortfalls of it, but the possibly dangerous shortfalls of it. Now, one more thing I wish you could feel my hand. It's sticky from sweat right now. And you can see maybe the lines that are in it from it just suffocating my hand. One other thing that I like about certain gloves is the ability to hang them, like hang them on my belt, hang them on my kit because of some sort of a tab that they have or a loop. I don't quite know what to say about these. They got these little, I don't know if that was just for packaging, because that's how it was held to the package, is these little lightweight loops. Maybe that's not what they're intended for, is to be able to loop them or hang them on your belt like mechanics or any other popular tactical glove, but they're pretty pointless. These two little loops are pretty pointless if that's what they're for. So that's another bad move, Hatch. So at $20, if you're just looking for a little bit extra hand protection, I guess they're might be worth it, although I think there are far, far better options out there. Even options that I don't like from previous videos that I may have shown you, just because, mainly because I can still feel my hand in those other gloves. I can't feel anything in these. If you were to ask me directly, I would say don't waste your money. I'm pretty disappointed. Hatch makes what I think Hatch makes some really good products, and they just really dropped the ball on this, and I'm super disappointed. All right, everybody, thanks for listening. I'll put a link to the Hatch gloves, an Amazon link, in the description below. Check them out for yourself if you want. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Get the videos out there. Help me grow. And I would like to thank, you know who you are, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I would like to thank the first person to ever donate to my channel. It was a monetary donation, and I think it's a reoccurring monthly monetary donation. The one and only person who've ever done that. You know who you are. I certainly appreciate it. You have no idea. So, thank you. We'll talk to everybody later.